Okay. So yes, huge thanks to Lara for inviting me along today. I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I basically train businesses how to effectively use social media. All of my workshops are really quite informal. So if you have got any questions as we go along, do give me a shout. Basically, my background is I'm actually an environmental consultant by trade. I spent 20 years working for Manchester City Council in the environmental team, and finished up my career there managing the Greater Manchester Energy Advice Service. I took voluntary redundancy now about 8 years ago, and whilst I was sort of serving my notice there, Nomad Games, a video games company, approached me and said, "Oh, Bex, we're here, you're leaving the council. You don't fancy coming and helping us out for a while?" I was in the process of setting up my own business in property at the time. So I thought, oh, well, yeah, go on then, I'll come and help you out, just part-time for 12 months. And their target market was America. They were a brand new company. There's only 12 people in the business. And they made board games into digital formats, but they needed to reach out to the American market for two reasons. One, to sell the products, but also to get in front of media journalists. So I started helping them out really from a marketing perspective, growing their brand. And they'd been using social media for about 18 months prior to when I joined them, with absolutely no impact whatsoever, because they were doing very similar to what a lot of businesses do. They were just thinking about what they wanted to sell and what they needed to get out of it, rather than actually thinking about who their followers should be and what their followers wanted. So I went in and actually turned it on its head and thought about, okay, well, what are these people interested in? What do they want to see from us? What would intrigue and engage them on social media? So I completely transformed their content approach, and that led to growing their social media following from 400 to over 20,000 in 3 years. But that was 20,000 followers who were highly interested and engaged with what we were doing. We had really great engagement rates on our social media. They left us raving reviews. They bought loads of our products. And basically, they were queuing up to test our games for free. And we'd always paid for testers. So basically, in about, it was 3 years later, we'd sold 1.5 million units of the first ever game that they created. And we'd launched quite a few games since then. So my part-time 12-month journey with Nomad Games, I ended up working with them for nearly 4 years full-time, because I absolutely loved it and really enjoyed it. And we got some fantastic results. But 5 years ago, my mum was diagnosed with cancer. She needed major surgery, and I had a young family at the time, and just trying to juggle the kids, my parents who don't live locally, and everything. I made the decision to set up on my own as a social media trainer. And that's why we're here today. 5 years on, I've trained over 700 businesses mainly across the UK, but had a few across the world as well. And more importantly, my mum's cancer-free too, which is more important than anything. So today we're going to be talking about content. And again, please do let me know if you've got any questions as we're going along. You can either pop them in the chat or feel free to shout out. So my workshop's always quite interactive. So what I'm going to ask you is, first of all, when we start with our social media content, what we tend to do as businesses is just launch into a load of posts that we don't necessarily think about, but we think about what we need to sell. So what we always do with all my clients is we go back to the beginning and go, right, actually, what are you hoping to achieve on social media? So, question for you all. What are you hoping to achieve on social media? What do you think we should be trying to achieve? And it's different for everyone, so there's no right or wrong answer on this.
Yeah, well, for superstar PAs, it's ultimately to find more clients.
Yeah, find more clients.
Yeah, and keep our existing clients engaged and sharing valuable information with them, sharing information on other things that we can do that maybe they'd not thought about asking us for help with.
Yeah, finding new clients. Yeah, that's a great one. And that is the main, to be fair, that's the main priority of most people. on social media anymore. Anybody else? Yep. Claire's put business growth. Yeah, business growth is a really important one as well, because to grow, you need to market yourself more widely to basically get more clients. Yeah. Any other ideas why we should be on social media? Or what you're hoping to achieve? Or what some of your clients are hoping to achieve, not necessarily you guys. I've got a few here. I've got a few here. Some that we've mentioned already. But raising brand awareness. So some companies really, particularly if they've got a new brand, they want to raise their brand awareness. They want to get known. They want people to start recognizing who they are. So they might not be going for that straight hard sell, but actually just getting their brand out there and becoming familiar with people. Obviously, we want to sell. We want to sell our products. We want to sell our services, which we've mentioned. Introduce our products and services. Social media is a brilliant platform for introducing what you're doing, talking to people about any new products or services that you've got or might be developing and coming up. Some people just want to have fun. You see these big influencers, don't you? My kids follow quite a few of them. And they just make money by having fun on social media. Now, I wouldn't recommend you do this. It's only the very, very few that actually manage to actually make some money on YouTube, for example, by having a bit of fun. But social media is about showing that little bit of personality, a bit about the business, who you are. So an element of it might be all about fun and showing that personality. Okay. Some people just like to spread some joy. Some people just use social media. There are community groups and things like that are out there to help people. And help people in the community, spread some joy, a completely different objective to what a business might have. Build trust. Trust is really, really important these days. We all work in a very competitive market. It's very unusual if I come across a business that just does that thing and nobody else in the world does it. These days, we've got a lot of competition, and there's a lot of dishonest businesses out there, a lot of businesses with bad reputations who are very good at pulling in clients with their sales technique. So social media is a fabulous way of building trust, getting those client reviews, showcasing who we are and how we can help, but also how we've helped others to build that trust. And generally speaking, I think it's about 78% of people these days, when they're thinking about buying or making a purchase, they will check out the company's social media first of all to make sure that they are trusted and trustworthy and have got a good reputation for that company. Showcasing the team. If you've got a great team, it's a great way to showcase that on social media, build up the team. It helps with morale within the business if you're really highlighting and celebrating your staff. But it also builds to build up that trust because you're showing who actually works in the organisation. Okay. A lot of people use social media to raise money for charity. It's a phenomenal way of raising money for charity. Even as an aside, some businesses have a charitable arm. They might want to use it to raise money. And also, if you're working and supporting charities, it's a great bit of PR as well for your company. So raising money for charity can be very beneficial on social media. Stopping the scroll. So what do I mean by that? When we're looking through our news feed, we all scroll through quite quickly, don't we? We scroll through quite quickly what we're looking at, but actually what we've got to try and do is stop people scrolling past our posts. That's what mainly we should be aiming to achieve, because if people just scroll on by, they're never going to actually look and read it. So you may have reached, 300 people with that Facebook post, but if they've all just scrolled straight past, then it's absolutely worthless. So we need to be creating content that catches people's eye, resonates with them, so that they want to stop scrolling on by and read what we're putting. Showcase offers. If we've got offers, sales, fantastic way of basically showcasing what we've got on offer for those people that might be thinking about buying, and you can just push them over the edge into a customer by offering them a little offer. You want to demonstrate your values as a business as well. Again, that links to that trust, but it also shows what you're hoping to achieve as a business, what you're aspiring to, who you want to work with, that sort of thing. So demonstrating your values. And increased engagement. I think we've all been there and done social media content and just posted loads of content and really not really ever got any engagement with it. And it can become quite demoralizing sometimes. So changing that content strategy can significantly help you to increase engagement, because you're not going to get engagement if your followers are not interested in your content. Therefore, it's about how can we use social media to increase that engagement and increase our visibility. So whenever you start thinking about your social media content, you really have to focus on, well, what is it exactly we want to achieve through our social media and our content? So set those clear business objectives at the beginning, and that will really help you to think about the type of content that you can create. Okay. So next question for you. What type of content do you think we should be posting then, if we're thinking about all those business objectives? Any ideas?
So it could be for us, like sharing the different types of tasks that we do. Could be what a typical day of a VA looks like. Could be sharing just news of things that are happening in my life or the team's life. Could also be sharing new team members. So we've just introduced Kate last week. What else? Like benefits of having a VA.
Yeah.
That would be another one.
Yeah.
Benefits of not having to hire somebody, using a contracting service.
Yeah. And Kate's put pictures of work that you do. For example, gardening or new paving. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Definitely.
And I think that works really well as well, because it's like behind the scenes, isn't it? It's helping to build that trust. It's showing you're a real company, you're doing real work. Because unfortunately, we've probably all come across them. There are some dodgy companies on social media. It's not that well vetted. So yeah, behind the scenes. And like you were saying, Lara, just sort of the work that you're doing, the customers you might be working with, and things like that. Reviews from current clients. So yeah, Kate's put reviews. Absolutely. Reviews are brilliant. If you can get reviews from clients, then you can use that as content on your social media. If they post a review on your LinkedIn profile, on your Facebook, on your Google My Business page, or any other review platform that you use, that review then is in the public domain, and you can actually use that as a post on social media, and you can also put it on your website. So it's really, really sort of valuable content that your customers are creating for you, which is an added bonus. Okay. So yes, so reviews are a great one. How-to posts, so tips on how to do things. If you look at my social media, I am always doing how to do X, Y, Z, how to make your Facebook photos private. I think that's one of my most popular videos. A video I posted back in 2018. I think I'm currently up to 36,000 views, and people are still viewing it and commenting on it every week. And it's really out of date now. But if you resonate and create content that resonates with your audience, you can get these videos, you can get these tips. They could hang around for very many years if you hit the right spot. Okay. So how-to posts, behind the scenes, we've mentioned, to build up that trust. Tips and advice. I encourage people to ask questions on my social media if they're stuck with anything. They can post on my Facebook page, or I have a Facebook group called The Social Flock. I ask people to ask questions. The beauty about people asking questions is I can publicly answer them, and it helps everybody else. But it also helps me think about, I could actually create a post about that question and create the answer. So tips and advice work really well, because you can guarantee if you show that you are helping people, you're actually demonstrating your expertise and showing that you are an expert in your field. People posts. I would say a lot of people shy away from putting themselves on their social media. And by that, I mean photos or videos. Because people can be, the majority of us are quite shy. We don't want pictures of ourselves plastered all over social media. However, I would say the most impactful posts are those that have pictures of people on, particularly if you do a lot of networking, you go out and about, people know you, you have a lot of clients, you do a lot of face-to-face work, people will recognize you. And one fantastic way of helping to stop that scroll is by putting your face on there, because people will recognize you. They'll go, oh, there's Lara. What's she up to these days? And that sort of thing. So putting your face on there is extremely powerful. And you will find on my social media, there's loads of pictures on me. There's loads of pictures, obviously, you can see on my PowerPoints as well. Not because I love my photo, I absolutely hate it. But I know from a business perspective, it works, okay? And I always say to clients, if you're walking into a networking event, you wouldn't walk in with a bag over your head, would you? You know, everybody loves us for who we are. So, you know, just get out there and put your face on social media, you and your team, who you work with. You know, it really, really does work. Okay. Products and services, obviously we need to talk about our products and services, but this shouldn't make up most of our content. You know, 20% of our content should be talking about products and services, what we are delivering, you know, what we do. Infographics works really well. Don't know if anyone's ever done any infographics, but they work quite nicely. You know, a nice infographic with an image with lots of sort of key ideas and information on there. They do really well, and a lot of people will share those as well if it's valuable information. Lists. So I have a YouTube channel where I share lots of tips, and you will hear 5 top tips for growing your followers on Instagram. Okay, people love lists because they go, oh right, 5, right, I've got time to watch that, I just need 5 things. And it makes it into chunks, so it's more easily digested by your followers. So having lists, you know, 3 top mistakes you could ever make on LinkedIn, it's quite intriguing. And so lists do work. Do think about doing lists. Videos. Now, videos is probably the one area that people really do shy away from, but videos are only growing in importance. You've got the likes of TikTok, it's obviously leading the way in short videos. So videos are growing. We've got Reels, Instagram Reels, we've got Reels now being launched on Facebook. We've got YouTube Shorts. You can do video on Twitter, you can do video on LinkedIn. You know, most of the social media platforms now are really embracing and encouraging video, because video really helps you to connect with your audience, and helps to build that trust because it shows you're a real person, and it helps to bring across your personality as well. Okay. Questions. If you ask questions, asking questions are brilliant, because if you ask questions on your social media, then hopefully people will answer them, which is then creating comments, which will then increase the reach of that post. So questions on social media are really, really powerful, particularly if you really resonate and strike a chord with your audience, and make it really simple, easy question to answer. People love answering questions. You know, people love giving their opinions as well. So really try and encourage people to answer questions on your social media posts, because that will increase its reach. So really, what type of content? I mean, that's just a few ideas. That's by no means an exhaustive list. But basically, we should be creating content that resonates with our customers. And that is the most important thing. Okay. So how do we find all these ideas from? Because that's all very well, you know, how to post, but, you know, what do we write about? When we're really busy in our business, it's quite difficult to come up with a bit of inspiration, because you're so busy doing the work that you sometimes don't take time out to think about, okay, well, what content would be best that resonates with our customers? So I'm just going to run through a few ideas of how you can actually find some of these content ideas. So first of all, look on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to use commercial insurance, because I have so many clients that come up to me and go, well, it's all right, you know, if you're in the entertainment or hospitality, there's loads of content you can create. So I'm picking, for this example, a really, really dry example. Obviously, we're talking commercial insurance. So what I would do is I'd go onto Facebook and you just click commercial insurance in the little search bar, okay? And then you would click onto pages, scroll down in the search results and click on pages. Now, what this is going to bring up is a whole long list of company pages. And you can look through those, and they might be your competitors. You can look through those to see what they're posting about. But more importantly, you want to see which of their posts are actually creating a lot of engagement. What's getting lots of likes, what's getting lots of comments, because you can guarantee those ones that get lots of likes and comments are reaching a wide audience. So you can actually look at what they're doing and do something similar. Now, obviously, you can't copy it. You need to repurpose it and put your own spin on it. But that will give you loads of ideas of popular posts, okay? So I did this, and these are some of the content that I came up with for commercial insurance. So they posted about their office dogs, their antics in the office. So a lot of them brought their dogs to work, and they were talking, this is a little picture I've taken, they were, talking about what the dogs were getting up to and what mischief they were doing. Again, it's just connecting with their audience. They celebrated the successes of an employee winning an award, again, which always goes well. They talked about their latest blogs, okay? So they talked about the latest blogs. They didn't necessarily put a link to that blog, but they might have referred to it. They shared interesting articles about commercial insurance. So they were actually sharing other posts from other useful organisations that were going to help their clients, that were going to add value to what they offer. They posted, obviously, details about their services, which is what we should all do. They wished all their customers Happy New Year and Happy Easter and that sort of thing. Gave tips on what to do to keep your energy bills down for home workers, because obviously energy bills are on the rise. That's something that is in the minds of everybody. So therefore, they were offering tips on how to keep energy bills down for their home workers. Okay, so that's one idea, is to look on Facebook. Okay, and then you can replicate these ideas and put them on, even if you're not using Facebook for business, you could put these ideas and use them on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever platform you're using. The other thing is use hashtags. Hashtags are massively underutilized because people think to use hashtags, but they don't often think to search for hashtags, okay? So you can actually use a hashtag search to give you loads of content ideas. So here I've gone onto LinkedIn, and again, sticking with the theme, hashtag commercial insurance, I've just typed that into the search bar, okay? And what that will give you is all the people who are talking about commercial insurance and using that hashtag. But what it will do is it will search to the top and show you the most popular posts about commercial insurance. So therefore, it's giving you some great ideas of popular content that relate to this subject matter. So again, this is the sort of questions, sort of posts that I found on LinkedIn that related to commercial insurance. Lots of questions and polls, because it was getting lots of engagement. People are engaging. There was lots of behind the scenes training pictures. Okay, so basically lots of training, what was going on behind the scenes in their company. There was information about what commercial insurance is and why you need it. Lots of blogs were being shared, articles were being written, and actually driving traffic to the websites. And there were client stories as well, client success stories on how they'd helped with an insurance claim and things like that. So again, all these, although we looked on LinkedIn, can be replicated. And again, you can search hashtags on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Any social media platform has users and hashtags. So have a look on there. So the third idea then is to look on Google. Okay, so we've got Google. Basically, just type in commercial insurance on Google. Okay, and it will come up the minute you type it in with a list. And these are the highest searched keyword phrases, basically, that people are searching for on Google. So you know they are popular searches. So we're looking at commercial insurance broker, commercial insurance quotes, commercial insurance services. So we know those searches are quite popular. So anything to do with those searches, anything that you can relate your social media to, then you know it's a popular topic. So but once you've typed that in, scroll down on the results, okay? Because you will come to a box on Google that says people also ask. So I typed in commercial insurance, you scroll down, in the middle it says people also ask, what are the 4 most common types of commercial insurance? Ah, now there's a post. The 4 most common types of commercial insurance are X, Y, Z. Is commercial insurance a business? Again, you can create content around that. And what insurances do you need as a business? So these are the most common questions that are asked that relate to commercial insurance. So you can guarantee if you start writing social media about these 3 questions, then you're going to resonate with your target market. And if you scroll right to the bottom of the Google, again, it's going to give you some other suggested search terms that relate to commercial insurance. Again, that you can relate your content to and come up with content ideas. Because who'd have thought, you do a post about commercial insurance for a van. Yeah, very, very specific, but actually a very popular search. So it's probably going to be popular on your social media as well. So the other one that I use quite a lot is answerthepublic.com. So this is a really, really good tool. Again, you get 3 free searches every day, and it's going to give you loads of examples of types of content that you can create. So I just typed in commercial insurance, again, sticking to that theme, and it comes up with this amazing wheel of can, what, which, where, will, when, why, who, and it's basically scraping the internet for common questions that people are looking for that relate to commercial insurance. So it's just going that bit deeper than, say, Google does. Okay. And then you can put it into a nice little box. So it's a bit easier to read than that wheel. So you can either the visualization, click on visualization, or on this one, I click on data. And there's just, again, it gives me a lot more than this, but relating to the R word, are commercial insurance policies transferable? Again, you can do a post about that. Did you know that you can transfer your insurance policy, etc. And then, loads of what are commercial insurance plans? You can answer the question. Commercial insurance plans are Again, we've got commercial van insurance. So yeah, there's a lot of questions about vans. So you get the idea. You basically end up with a whole list of popular search terms that are being put on the internet that relate to commercial insurance that you can create content with. Okay. Look on Quora.com. I don't know if anyone's ever used this one, but this is quite a good one because basically Quora, it's like an answer and question and answer type website. And again, this is free. I don't pay for this. I've just put in the search term commercial insurance. And again, you get lots of questions about commercial insurance. Where can I go to get commercial insurance? What is commercial insurance? But you've also then got all the responses and how people are responding. So you can see how, questions and answers, some of these searches are a little old, but, you can hear, it gives you an idea for content. Here, the 2 most common types of insurance for businesses are. So again, you could write something similar. And put that onto your social media. Okay. So the other one as well is I actually have a special days of the year wall planner. So I don't know if you know, but there are loads of special days of the year that relate to Beer Day Britain. I'm trying to think. Today is what is it today? I've just got my calendar here. Today is World Piano Day, believe it or not. So again, there's all sorts of different things. Tomorrow is World Bipolar Day, and Friday is World Backup Day. So I've got a social media wall planner that I sell. It's just $14.99, and it gives you all the special days of the year, again, which can give you some brilliant social media content inspiration. You can write your own dates in there. And what I tend to say to clients is pick some of the key dates and just highlight them highlight the key dates throughout the year that are relevant to your business, and you could create a post around, because you can tag in that special day. It might be a charity event, a religious occasion, a sporting occasion. They're all on the calendar, but you could actually, do posts that relate to that as well. So if anyone's interested in that, again, I'll put the link in the chat if you're interested in getting one of those, because again, for social media content inspiration, it is really, really quite useful. Okay. So tapping into these awareness days that happen throughout the year can really help with your social media. So just to finish off with them, don't forget, repurpose your own content for your own website posts. Your website has got loads of content on it, and we always forget that. Go back and take snippets out of your website and create it as posts. They are a great opportunity. Don't forget anything that I've told you about today. You can't copy the content, you can't copy the images. Obviously, that's copyrighted, but you can create and repurpose your own. Okay, so just take inspiration from those ideas. Make the post relevant to your business as well. So whatever you find, we've talked about special days of the year. Make sure that those special days of the year are relevant to your audience or to your business. Okay. Always check as well. If we're looking on Google, if we're looking on social media, do fact check. If you found some great statistics, go, oh, that sounds amazing, I'm going to put that on my social media. Do just check their sources, because people do make stuff up on social media. So don't take everything for granted when you're looking at these areas. Do ignore the paid for promoted ads. So when you're looking on, particularly on Google, when you're doing a Google search at the top, you'll always have the ads at the top. When you're looking on social media, you might come across a post that's had loads of engagement and loads of likes. Just check it's not a paid for promoted one. You really want to be looking at ones that haven't been, are organic, i.e. they've just been posted without being advertised. Look at blogs, see if the content sparks some great ideas for your posts. So do have a look at blogs, and basically don't overthink it. This is one of the areas that people overthink far too much. We procrastinate, and basically it never ever happens because we overthink our content too much. Don't forget, your social media falls down a timeline. So if it doesn't do very well and nobody sees it, you don't get much engagement, that doesn't matter. Just try something else and try something new. And that's one of the groups. I run a group called the Social Flock, and it's for anyone who's struggling with social media content inspiration, struggling with social media ideas, or need that accountability to get their social media done, content written. We meet every Monday on Zoom, and we all write our posts together, and we get them written for the week. So you've got that consistent content going out, and it doesn't give you the chance to overthink it. So give you 40 minutes to write 3 posts. You haven't got time to overthink it. Your social media goes out, and before you know it, you've got consistent content going out all the time. And that's the most important thing. And we've had some amazing results in the Social Flock, and people are getting faster at writing their content. In fact, this week, we actually managed 7 posts in 40 minutes, one of our members, which was amazing. So again, if you want more information on the Social Flock, I will pop it in the chat, because we always love to welcome new members into that as well. So that's a little bit about content. Please do connect with me on social media. If you scan that barcode in, then you can it'll take you straight through to my LinkedIn, and I'd love to connect with you there.
Thanks, Bex. I've made 3 pages of notes.
Oh, there you go.
That was so
brilliant.
It's so useful. Like, I thought I knew a lot about social media, but clearly not. I've just got a couple of questions. So at the beginning, you talked about like what we want to achieve. There was quite a lot of things on there. Are we better just like choosing a handful of those to start with, instead of trying to, do them all and then potentially overwhelm ourselves by setting ourselves too many targets? Yeah. So what I suggest is pick maybe 3 of them. So pick 3 business objectives, and then try to structure your content